What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. Round 4 is just around the corner, so I'm coming at you with another quick video to go over my team updates for my fantasy team for round 4 of the Six Nations. There have been some changes made from the video that I put out on Wednesday, and fun fact about this one, you guys are actually helping out. I actually did my team on live stream. If you missed that one, you can go back and see my ridiculous thought process of making a few changes. There are a couple of changes to go over because France came out with a much bigger team than I was expecting, so it caused me to have some rethinks and a bit of reworking going around with this team. But we'll jump in, we'll go through my entire team and my thoughts and why I've picked some of these players, and I'm hoping a shift in tactics from me this week is going to be the way to save my my official Guinness Six Nations fantasy. So starting out in my back three, Damien Penaud on the right wing, Blair Kinghorn in at fullback, and Duhan van der Merwe on the left wing. Scotland going up against Italy. I'm expecting them to continue being, a big scoring game. Duhan van der Merwe got a hat-trick last week. I'm hoping he can do similarly this week. Got him as captain in there. Blair Kinghorn, is a great fullback. I think he's going to be used kind of similarly to what I've seen him in the past, where he really likes to get involved with the attack, maybe even get over a couple of tries himself, if not be the guy to link up the rest of the team for some try assists. And then Damien Penaud, France going over to Wales. Damien Penaud always seems to just get his hands on the ball. He's been scoring very consistently throughout the tournament so far, so I still think it's a good move to keep him, and I'm pretty happy with that back three. In my centre partnership, I was umming and ahhing about where to go with this. I knew I wanted Hugh Jones in that outside centre. I really think the Scottish backs might be up for a big game versus Italy. That inside centre has caused me issues. I've been jumping around with some of the Irish players in other parts of the field, but eventually Bundy Arki is going to be the guy I'm going to stick with in that inside centre position. I was having a look at maybe some of the French players as well, but I'm going to stick with the hard carrying Arki. In the halfback partnership, bit of a change here. My original thought process was George Ford going to be getting quite a few kicks over. It's going to be, big scoring over there. But actually, Ireland not really causing, too many infringements. How many penalties are they realistically going to give away? And at that point, I'm thinking more about how is the fly half going to perform on the field. Finn Russell, with no dedicated substitution fly half on the bench for them, is basically relying that if he was ever to come off, it would have to be Blair Kinghorn moving up to 10. Could well be likely Finn Russell is staying on for the full game. That's a good amount of minutes done, a good amount of meters made, and of course kicking potential. I'm going to go for Finn Russell instead. Scrum half, bit of a change up here. Pajarello comes in for me from Italy. Now we got to see last week you're also doing some long range kicking for Italy, and there's every opportunity that with a couple of the penalties going against Scotland in previous games, that Italy may have the opportunity for more penalties, and seeing as he was slotting them over from 50 metres and we had Garbisi hitting the post, maybe Pajarello being on will actually be a bit of a starting kick taker for Italy. And seeing as in the official Six Nations one, you don't have to nominate a kicker, you just get points for kicking. I think Pajarello might be a very cheap way to get into the team and actually still score some decent points as a scrum half. In my back row, my first Wales player throughout the entire tournament, Tommy Raffel coming in, who's been just absolutely monstrous in terms of his amount of tackles going in the team. It's nice to finally put a Welsh player in. Going up against France, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of big tackles going in there as well. He's probably going to be playing the full 80, so hopefully another solid performance. He has scored very well throughout this tournament so far in the official Guinness Six Nations one. Caelan Doris going in at 8. He's taken over from Ben Earl, who had in a couple of other rounds, but Caelan Doris is just such a solid all-round player. I think he's going to be able to play very well against England. And then in that 6 shirt, the shirt that still caused me all sorts of issues, Francois Crowe going in there. There is the option maybe to have gone for David Jenkins, because you basically get another back rower in there as well. But in this official game, David Jenkins is actually locked to being a lock, so you can't do anything with him. Has to stay as the lock department. So as the number 6 shirt, I've gone for Francois Cross, and I'm hoping that some of the French forwards can score some good points in this one. In the lock department, then I've gone big. I've started blowing currency out of the water for this one. Ty Byrne in the number 5 shirt. He's a superb player who scored so well last week. I've gone for him over Joe McCarthy as my Irish lock. I think he's a really good player. He's going in my number 5 shirt. And in number 4, Thibaut Flamand coming back in to the French team this week. Really, really exciting player. Last week he was in my team of the tournament last year, Thibaut Flamand. So he's back in. He's back from injury. I'm expecting a big game from him. Cost me a lot. This lock department is very, very expensive, and I'm going to hope it pays out for me. And then finally, in my front row, Antonio, who's still been scoring pretty consistently for me in that prop department, and going up against the Wales scrum with a front row that I think is maybe looking a bit shaky this week. I think Antonio can get off to a good start. Dan Sheehan is my hooker. He's my boy. He's going to stay there. No need to change any of that up. He just scores brilliantly every single game. And then in the loose head prop department. Danilo Fischetti coming in. Needed a bit of a cheaper option because I have got big players everywhere else in the team. I need to try and chop down a bit of the cost. Danilo Fischetti, a little bit of a cheaper loose head prop for me. Able to get in there, but still been scoring pretty consistently along the way. That is going to be a roundup of my team. Now, some extra tactics to talk about here because I've gone so big with my entire team. As I scroll down for you guys here to see, my captain and super sub Duhan van der Merwe is in as my captain again. I'm hoping maybe another hat-trick. That would be great. I don't know if he'll get another hat-trick, but hopefully get over some tries against Italy. And you will see that my super sub is blank. I have a blank super sub, no super sub. If you go over and check my budget, okay, no players are within budget for me to have a super sub. I only have 6 stars left. There isn't a single player that is worth 6 stars. So I have no super sub this week. Big risk to go for bigger based players and hope that the super sub wasn't going to be super important. You don't have to have a super sub. That's how the official Guinness Six Nations one work. You can use it to get triple points if they come on for the bench, half points if they're an existing player, but it does say at the bottom there, you can also choose to not pick a super sub. So I've taken an extra gamble this week, no super sub for me, and I'm loading up on my full 15 and hoping that's going to be a slightly different way to tackle this one. But make sure you drop down in the comment section, guys, who's making your team. Of course, we're going to go over the results on Monday's video, along with the world rankings and seeing who comes out on top at the end of round 4. I hope you guys really enjoy another fun weekend of the Six Nations, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.